Let's give a nice warm welcome to this hilarious young lady, comes all the way from Denver, Colorado. Please put your hands together for Kimberly Dillon!
Hey guys, so my name is Kimberly. I just moved to LA 2 weeks ago, and I'm already on stage, so go me. Dreams come true. Like Ed said, I'm from Colorado. Woo! People, yeah, anyone? And when I tell people I'm from Colorado, what they tend to think of is like mountains and snow and beautiful. But for me, it was really dark, you guys. It was like good versus evil dark, like with witches. So this is how it got started. So my house was at the bottom of a canyon, and on top of that canyon was this organization called Focus on the Family. Focus on the Family, if you guys know, is a conservative, pro-life Christian organization. And what they were famous for at the time was this huge billboard where they would change these messages. This billboard would beam into my backyard, like lights beaming. So during my senior year, when I was trying to give it up, they decided to put this 80-foot baby, like an aborted baby, you guys, on the billboard with this woman who has a belly, she's a teenager, not a woman, and says, "Don't be me." I was terrified, you guys. Like, guys would try to touch me, and I'd be like, no, it can't be me. It was like a chastity belt, like always looking at me. It was like the best birth control ever. So I was really into like being super Christian, and I joined this church called New Life Church, Pastor Ted Haggard. Some of you may be familiar with him. Yes, so I was a big part of that church. And I was so into it, and I was so in love with him, you guys, like love with the pastor. He was gorgeous. He had blonde hair and blue eyes, and he was super tall, and he had these horse teeth, like white, big horse teeth, and I'm kind of into that. That's my thing. So he worked for me. But he was a good guy too. He wasn't just hot. Like, he had 7 kids. 2 of them had like Asperger's, and he had this fat wife. Like, not Midwest fat, like hippo fat. And he still loved her. He was a good man, you guys. It turns out that he was dropping crystal meth in the choir room, which is why he had the horse teeth. And he was also giving blowjobs to prostitutes, like male prostitutes. Which is weird, right? Because why would you give the blowjob? That's doing it wrong. I don't know too much about prostitutes, but I kind of think you should get. So I was kind of like really over the whole church thing. So another fact about Colorado, it has the most registered witches of any state in the country. Yes, you can register as a witch, you guys. And they like to be called Wiccans. I was never, like, you know, like, yes. I was never a witch, but we were really broke, and my mom was into like natural remedies. We didn't have health care, so she was always trying to find ways to like prevent like anything going wrong. So somehow maybe we went to this town called Manitou Springs. Manitou actually is Navajo for the undead. Okay, there's a lot of like Native Americans who I love. Down in Colorado Springs, and they're also part of like this Wiccan community. And so somehow we ended up there, and we would go to a witch doctor, or like a shaman, better term. We would go to a witch doctor, and if you guys have never been, they're awesome. You walk in, they like light some sage for you, they ask you like what's wrong, any ailments, and then they have like all these herbs and like natural stuff. It's amazing. So you would go and you get your tea, and then it'll like solve your problems. And I actually don't have a joke here, like I totally am completely homeopathic, like I love it, it's better than aspirin, like the shit works. So anyway, Manitou Springs, tons of witches. Like there were so many witches in Manitou Springs, you could open a store and just sell capes. I mean, it was like Halloween every day in Manitou Springs. It was kind of awesome. Like I mentioned before, Manitou Springs had a big Native American population, which I love. Like, I'm into Native Americans, it's also my thing. I think that Native Americans really are the #1 oppressed minority in this country. They don't even have a month, you guys. They might have a month, I don't know, I didn't look it up, I don't care. But minority solidarity. I feel like I would know that back. So then I was trying to think of like famous Native Americans, and I only came up with 2. Pocahontas, who may not be real, and Sacagawea, who may be Pocahontas. But even if that's so, I feel like the only thing those women did was like, fuck white dudes, which I've done. And I don't feel like it will ever be on a stamp. And it just really pisses me off. But anyway, I love Native Americans. I think it was the movie, The Last Mohicans. Anyone see that? Yeah. I love Daniel Day-Lewis. And I know what you guys are thinking. He's not Native American, and that he's a white guy with a tan and a loincloth and a man weave. But he was so hot, you guys. Like, I loved it. Like, I was totally into like the Native American thing. So the Wiccans and the Native Americans, like, they got together a lot. So like in my school, it turns out that like our football field was an Indian burial ground. Like they found bones, you guys, on like the football field, which is super scary. I was so stressed about it. It was like a really hard thing to deal with, like running track and you're just like, are there spirits? What's happening here? I just want to get out. That and the 80-foot aborted fetus, like I was always spooked, which is why my shaman gave me valerian root. Valerian root is like Valium. It really calms the nerves. You guys should Google that, use it. I'm a big proponent of Valium root. And so that's sort of like how I cope through it. So it's weird, obviously it's a bad PR issue for our school. So our school decides that we need to have Native American education. Great. So what they decided to do, you know how we have periods, like first period and second period? What they decided to do was to change our periods to names of really popular Indian tribes. So our periods would be like Cherokee and Navajo and Crete, which is like totally fucked up when you're trying to skip class. Because you're like, I need to skip Blackfoot, but Kiowa and Cherokee I need to be back for. Okay, you guys, I'm Kimberly, thank you.